Hi guys, so today I'm going to teach you how to use some common items that you might have around your house or stuff that you can get for fairly inexpensively to make yourself a DIY heavy bag. Now, if you're like me and you spent time in the military, you probably got issued several of these duffel bags. They're the perfect vessel for making your own heavy bag. They're the exact right shape, and you can cram them really tightly. Now, you can, if you want to use this exclusively as your heavy bag, you can cut off these arm straps. I didn't want to do that, so I'll show you what I did. I'm not going to take all of these out, but I have, probably most of us have a bunch of pillows lying around. And you can't really throw them away because they take up a bunch of extra space. But eventually, they just become stuff sitting around your house. So if you're like me and you've got a bunch of extra pillows, you can use that to stuff your bag. Or spare blankets, just anything like that. Just to fill it up really nice and tight. So basically what I did was I started with my Army issue duffel bag, and you could probably go pick one of these up at an Army Navy store for really cheap. And then I also have a length of chain, which you can get from any hardware store. Not too expensive. It doesn't need to be anything super duper heavy duty, but heavy duty enough that it will hold this up and will support you wailing on it a bit. And in my rafters I have eyelets. So I have this little S hook, and if you want, you could use 2 carabiners and hook one through the eyelet and one through the other end of the chain, which we're also going to hook onto this little attachment point on our bag closure to hang it up. So, like I said, I stuffed several pillows in the bottom here, and you just want to kind of make sure that you get it all the way squished down in there pretty good, each pillow. And then before I stuck in my last pillow, I took and I tucked in these straps because they do have those metal parts on them and you don't want to end up punching that. Then I took my last pillow and I just crammed that in here on top of that. And then if you're familiar with how these Army bags close, they have little eyelets that you just thread this hook thing through. And that closes it up for you. And then it's got that hook that you hook through that. Then you're going to take your carabiner that you've hooked to your chain, stick that through this part, not the hook part that could come unclasped, but through the actual hardware part. Then I'm going to shorten up my chain a little bit. It's good to have a little bit of extra length so you can figure out the right height for you. And then since it's just pillows, it's not particularly heavy, so it's not going to put a lot of strain on that hook in my ceiling. And then you can just use this for a punching bag. This extra string shouldn't get in your way. Worst case scenario, they're flopping around. You can just tie those 2 strings together here at the bottom. So then you just get yourself either some of those nice little kickboxing sort of gloves that protect your knuckles, but you still have some movement of your fingers, or regular boxing gloves, and you have yourself an inexpensive, multi-use punching bag. Let me know what you think, and if you create one, you can use this in your kickboxing routines, or if you're just having a really bad day, just come take some of your anger out on it. Thank you.